Once upon a time, Jiang found himself in a mysterious and eerie place called Foul Road. He was awakened by a message on a magical screen, which instructed him to reach a hospital called Yellow Spring in just 3 minutes. The message gave him 2 important tips to help him on his way. Don't stay in one place for too long, or you might be attacked by something scary. Be extra careful not to lose your life on the way. Jiang touched a streetlight and gasped. It felt cold, even though the air around him was warm and sticky. The place smelled like wet dirt and trees, a bit like the real world he knew before. He remembered hearing that Foul Road used to be part of his own world, but had changed into something creepy. It all started 10 minutes ago when Jiang was napping in class. One of his classmates shook him awake and said, "Hey Jiang, you're so calm. You must know how to pass the test. Help me, okay?" Another kid laughed and said, "You can't just use your handsome face to win this time. If I were you, I'd beg me for help instead." Annoyed, Jiang snapped, "If you're jealous of my good looks, just admit it." Suddenly, the teacher walked in, saying, "Quiet! The principal is here." Now here's the thing about Jiang's world. When kids turn 18, they have to take a super-duper scary challenge in a mysterious world filled with spooky ghosts. These ghosts are ranked by how strong they are. The scariest ones, called SSS rank ghosts, are powerful enough to wreck entire cities. To make things a little less scary, people invented a magical item called the Sly Stone. This stone lets people enter and leave the spooky world when they want, instead of being pulled in randomly. But if your resurrection points drop to 0, it's game over. Jiang's teacher was really kind and told the class, "I'll be here waiting for you when you're back. But remember, stop right away if you're in big trouble." Then she pressed the Slice Stone and started the countdown. Boom. Jiang was now inside the mysterious world for the first time. As he walked, a magical map popped up. Jiang saw he was supposed to get to his mission spot, but it would take 30 minutes if he walked. He chuckled and said, "Hey, I'll get there in just 10 minutes. I'm pretty awesome after all." When he checked his stats on the magic screen, most of them were at 0, except for one. His strange power was at 50. Other kids only had 10 points of strange power. So Jiang grinned and said, "Looks like being good-looking comes with perks." Jiang walked toward the Yellow Springs Hospital. What a cool name, he thought. He was excited, but also a little nervous. Suddenly, he heard someone say, "Hello." A girl had appeared behind him. Jiang jumped in surprise. "Wait, is this already a ghost?" "This is just the beginning," he thought. The girl smiled and hugged him. "Hello, handsome," she said. "Do you like me?" Without thinking, Jiang nodded. She was so pretty, but then she took off her mask, and Jiang's jaw dropped. Her face had a big, scary cut. She pulled out huge scissors and asked, "Am I beautiful now?" Jiang froze. This is Kukasakana, he realized. She's a famous Japanese ghost who shows up at night. Jiang panicked and tried to remember what his teacher had taught him about dealing with her. But he forgot everything. The ghost girl moved closer and whispered, "Am I beautiful?" She put the scissors by his neck. Jiang's heart was pounding, but he decided not to answer. Instead, he acted silly and walked right past her like he didn't care. Once he got some distance, he yelled, "Bye," and started running. "I'm super fast," Jiang said to himself. "With my strange power, I can run 100 meters in 10 seconds. She'll never catch up." But surprise, the ghost girl was running right next to him. How is she so fast? Jiang thought. He tried zigzagging and changing direction, but no matter where he went, she followed. "If you say I'm beautiful," she said, "I'll make you look as beautiful as me." Jiang pretended not to understand her. I don't speak Japanese," he said. The ghost pulled out her scissors again. "Now tell me," she demanded. "Do you think I'm beautiful?" Jiang stopped running for a moment. "Please slow down," he pleaded. But when she paused, Jiang did a cool backflip to get away. Then he grinned and said, "Hey, don't you think I'm handsome too?" The ghost girl stared at him, confused. What's wrong with this guy? Is he crazy? She wondered. She kept chasing Jiang, shouting, "Am I beautiful?" Jiang yelled back, "What's your deal? Why are you so obsessed with that question?" But soon, Jiang got trapped in a corner. "Oh," the ghost girl stepped closer in her high heels. "Am I beautiful?" she asked again. Jiang wanted to shout, "Why do you keep asking that?" But he was too scared to say anything. The ghost used her powers to attack with her giant scissors. This kid is too tricky, she thought. I'll make him suffer for ignoring me. She slashed at Jiang with her scissors, and he covered his head with his hands. Is this it? Am I going to die here? He thought. Just then, a magical window popped up with a message. Just as the scissors were about to hurt Jiang, a magical system appeared. A message popped up. A mysterious threat has been detected. System activated? The ghost girl froze, confused. What's going on? Why can't I move? She wondered. Another message appeared in front of Zhang. It said, deception and lies filled her hands with blood. Ugliness and loneliness made her vengeful, but deep down, she longed for kisses and warmth. Zhang was surprised but quickly laughed. This is amazing. I must have the legendary traveler system, he said excitedly. Feeling brave, Zhang pointed at the ghost girl and yelled, All right, ugly monster, I'm going to catch you. But then, something unexpected happened. A new message popped up. After this explanation, the system will disappear. And just like that, the system vanished. Zhang froze. What? Where's my magical sword, my ultimate weapon, my pet dragon? Is this system broken? He realized the system only protected him because its screen popped up in the way of the scissors. Meanwhile, the ghost girl was fuming. How? Dare you call me ugly? She screamed. The one thing I hate most is men who tease me. Zhang started to panic. Oh no, she's going to cut my mouth next. This is too much. The ghost girl glared at him with a terrifying expression. I'll ask you one last time, she said. Am I beautiful? Suddenly, Zhang got an idea. He stepped forward and hugged the ghost girl tightly. She gasped in shock, turning bright red. What are you doing? She stuttered. Zhang stayed quiet, thinking about the system's hint. She longed for kisses and warmth. Then, Zhang did something bold. He put on a confident smile, looked into her eyes and said, Hey, listen to me. Once upon a time, I didn't realize how special true love was. If I could get another chance, I'd make it right. His words were so cheesy, even the ghost girl cringed. What's wrong with you? She asked, looking annoyed. But Zhang wasn't done. He took a deep breath and said, Do you believe in love at first sight? The ghost girl didn't believe him at all. Seeing no way out, Zhang decided to go all in. Without letting her respond, he suddenly kissed her. The ghost girl's eyes went wide in shock. She tried to push Zhang away, but he held on, giving her a kiss she'd never forget. After 5 whole minutes, Zhang finally let the ghost girl stumble back, her face red with embarrassment and rage. You're a complete dirt, she shouted, clearly flustered. Zhang, trying to act cool, smiled and said, I guess even ghost girls like a good kiss. But deep down, he was scared out of his mind. Did that really just work? He thought, sweating bullets. Meanwhile, the ghost girl covered her face, trying to hide her emotions. For the first time ever, she wasn't sure if she wanted to punish someone. Zhang's bold move left her completely speechless. Well, you're still a bye, she shouted before disappearing into thin air. Zhang let out a big sigh of relief. That was too close. I can't believe I survived that. Zhang felt his cheeks burn as he realized his own flustered state. Despite the faint metallic taste of blood, he noticed a surprising sweetness lingering in his mouth. The ghost girl pulled herself free, her face equally red, and said softly, My name is Xiao Li. As she backed away, she added with a mix of embarrassment and frustration, You better wait for my revenge. I'll make you pay for this. Before Jiang could respond, she dashed off, disappearing into the shadows of the forest. He stood there, stunned, staring in the direction she had gone. Ding! A notification popped up before him. Congratulations! You have successfully completed a hidden mission, Kukasakana. Your reward. Grade F forbidden bound item. Bloody scissors. Zhang blinked in disbelief. Wait, I earned a forbidden item already. He hadn't expected to land such a prize so soon. Although it was the lowest grade, F, it was still an incredibly valuable item, worth up to 100,000 points. Though I guess there's a catch, Jiang muttered, reading the item's description. Bloody scissors. Grade F forbidden item. More than just a hair-cutting tool. These scissors are infused with Kukasakana's lingering essence. As a bound item, they cannot be traded. Examining the eerie, blood-stained scissors in his hand, Zhang grinned. Well, seems like the protagonist aura is really shining on me today. He held them confidently and marched forward. After walking, for some time he arrived at a large, ominous building, Yellow Spring Hospital. Another notification appeared. Mission update. You have successfully arrived at Yellow Spring Hospital. Your main task begins now. Task details. As a nurse, you must take good care of your assigned patients for 7 days. Building positive nurse-patient relationships will add points. If a patient becomes angry, they may become very dangerous. Hint, sleep peacefully after dark. Whatever happens, don't open your eyes. Difficulty level E. Zhang gulped. An E-level mission doesn't sound too bad, but those hints make it seem less than pleasant. As he stepped inside the hospital, he noticed an eerie silence. There was no one at the reception desk. Before Jiang could question the emptiness, a soft voice called out behind him. Turning around, he saw a young woman in a nurse's uniform. She held a clipboard and examined him carefully. "Ah, the newcomer," she said. "Zhang, right?" Zhang nodded nervously. "That's me." "Ah, is it just me working here?" Ignoring his question, she continued. "You're responsible for 4 patients. You'll meet them soon enough. But keep this in mind, room 401 requires special attention. Check on that patient first." As she turned to leave, she added in a quieter tone, "Oh, one more thing. Someone died earlier today." Zhang froze. "Wait, someone died?" he asked, but she vanished before he got an answer. Left alone, Zhang moved toward the reception area, still trying to process the nurse's warning. "This place is seriously creepy, shouldn't there? At least be a staff on duty?" he muttered. Shaking it off, he decided to focus on the task at hand. According to the system, there were 8 rooms on this floor, but only 4 were occupied by patients. "Well, that's a relief," he thought. "At least I only have half the work." Zhang made his way to room 401, mentally preparing himself. But when he saw the door, his confidence wavered. It was painted with streaks of what looked like blood. He took a deep breath to steady his nerves. "It's not that bad. Just stay calm," he told himself. Ding! A system message appeared in front of him. Hint: the patient in this room is very noisy. Be prepared for surprises. When you enter, you'll be hit by a human head. While it won't fuck you, losing the pride of a nurse in front of your patients could have dangerous consequences. Jiang blinked at the strange message, then let out a nervous laugh. "A human head? What kind of place is this?" He tightened his grip on his bloody scissors and smirked. "Fine, bring it on. Yellow Spring Hospital. Let's see what you've got." Jiang kicked open the door and muttered, "Can they really throw someone's head for fun?" Before he could process what was happening, a ghost woman's head came hurtling toward him. Remembering the system's warning, Zhang acted quickly. He stabbed the flying head with his bloody scissors. The room froze. Inside were 2 other ghostly figures, a little girl clutching a teddy bear and a boy sitting nearby. They stared in stunned silence at Jiang, who said they were noisy. Jiang thought, casually surveying the scene. "Isn't this peaceful?" "Enough!" The little girl trembled, clutching her teddy tighter. "What's wrong with this guy? Big Sis was just kidding and he sawed her," she thought in terror. The boy, equally horrified, realized this man's power is no joke, and those scissors, they're dangerous. Breaking the silence, Jiang cleared his throat. "Hello, I'm the new nurse. I heard from the head nurse that some of you requested special services. Could you please step forward?" Suddenly a weak voice called from below. "Brother nurse." It was the ghost woman whose head Jiang had sawed. Seeing her sprawled on the floor, Jiang leaned down with a polite smile. "Oh, it was you who called me. My apologies for the misunderstanding. Would you like me to remove these scissors?" The ghost woman put on an innocent face, but a sudden system hint appeared before Jiang, revealing her true thoughts. Hint: she's enraged and plans to devour you the moment the scissors are removed. Proceed with caution. Jiang's polite smile turned into a cunning grin. "Oh, so that's your game," he mused silently. Feigning ignorance, he reached for the scissors. Then, with a sinister smile, he yanked the handles apart, prying her head wide open. Splattered across his face as Jiang said with mock sincerity, "Oh no, I didn't realize your head was so fragile. My deepest apologies." The ghost woman's scream echoed through the room, while the little girl and boy looked on in pure horror. They clung to each other, realizing they were no match for this terrifying nurse. Another system notification appeared before Jiang. Operation complete. Result: the patients are now thoroughly afraid of you. They will obey without resistance. Feeling triumphant, Jiang wiped some of the ink from his cheek and turned to the other ghosts. "So, does anyone else require any special services?" No, we're fine," the boy and girl chorused in fear. Turning back to the ghost woman, Jiang asked with mock kindness, "Do you need help putting your head back together?" The ghost woman stammered, "And no, I can heal myself." Satisfied, Jiang turned to leave, but just as he reached the hallway, a voice called out from room 402, bed 3. Furrowing his brow, he muttered, "Another task? I thought I was done for the day." He headed to room 402, pushing the door open cautiously. A blank system hint appeared, a complete mystery. No warning? No problem, I guess, Jiang thought confidently. Inside, he called out, "All right, who's the patient in bed 3? Before he could get a proper look around, a ghostly figure came charging at him, a woman with no eyes and no mouth. She was trembling, visibly frightened, and threw her arms around Jiang in a desperate hug. "What's going on here?" Jiang asked, startled. "Can you explain?" The ghost tried to speak, but without a mouth, all Jiang could hear was muffled sounds. Ah, this is going to be tricky, he thought. As the eyeless ghost clung to him, Jiang sighed. Why can't these missions come with subtitles for the ghosts? As Jiang scanned the room, a ghost boy hanging upside down smirked and said, "The child is crying, and the lady ghost wants you to calm him down." Jiang raised an eyebrow. A child? Sure enough, aside from the boy and the female ghost, there was indeed a little ghost child in the room, wailing loudly. Jiang sighed and turned to the boy. "Ghost, why don't you handle this?" The boy shot him a sharp look. "If we could handle it ourselves, why would we need a nurse like you?" "Fair point," Jiang muttered, "but I was just curious what would happen if I left him like this. I'm not exactly his grandma, you know." Still, he leaned in to pick up the child ghost. That's when a system warning flashed in his mind. Warning, if the nurse neglects his duties and the patient devours him, the head nurse won't intervene. Jiang froze momentarily. Devour me? That escalated quickly. He glanced nervously at the child ghost. "Little brother," Jiang said soothingly, crouching down, "don't cry. Big brother will tell you a bedtime story, all right?" The child ghost stopped crying, his face slowly twisting into a devilish grin. "All right, but I'm hungry. If your story isn't good, I'll eat you, nurse brother." Jiang smirked. "Well, isn't that charming? Don't worry about it." The child ghost blinked, confused by Jiang's calmness. "Let me tell you a ghost story," Jiang began. "Once upon a time, there were 4 babies with little antennae on their heads. But before they could, boring, the child ghost shrieked, revealing a grotesquely large mouth. He lunged at Jiang with sharp teeth bared, intent on taking a bite. Jiang acted quickly, thrusting his bloody scissors into the ghost's open mouth. "Clang! Hey, kid!" Jiang said with a glare. "Didn't your mom teach you not to interrupt someone telling a story?" The child ghost froze, too terrified to answer. At 6 o'clock sharp, all the student nurses gathered in the ground floor hall, their faces pale with exhaustion and fear. "One spoke up, trembling. "I saw Wang Wei. His patient ate him." Another chimed in. "The patient I had only had half a body, and I have to endure this for 7 days? I can't handle it." While most were horrified and downtrodden, Jiang stood to the side, irritated. "I spent my whole shift telling ghost stories to some brat," he grumbled. "What kind of job is this?" Suddenly the head nurse appeared, her eerie presence silencing the chatter instantly. A sycophantic student stepped forward, plastering on a nervous smile. "Head nurse, you've worked so hard, let me—" Before he could finish, the head nurse used a strange, invisible force to slice off his head. Gasps of horror erupted among the students as the man's body crumpled to the floor. The head nurse glared at the lifeless body. "Useless," she sneered. "If you fail your tasks and your patients complain, you'll meet the same fate." She turned to the rest of the group, handing out envelopes. "This is your salary for today's performance," she explained coldly. "Vending machines are on every floor. Use your points to buy food and drinks as needed." Before leaving, she issued her final instruction. "Head to your floor's waiting area by nightfall. And remember," her glowing red eyes swept over them, "when it's dark, go to bed. And whatever happens, don't open your eyes. If you disobey, it's your risk to bear." The students exchanged frightened glances as the head nurse strode off, dragging the janitor behind her. Jiang made his way to the vending machine. Eyeing the price list, he muttered, 30 coins for water and a snack? At this rate, I'll need a promotion to survive here." He fed in his coins, grabbing his food and water. But something else in the machine caught his eye. A flashlight, priced at a staggering 500 coins. That's weird, Jiang thought. Why would a flashlight be this expensive? He shrugged it off and made his way to the dormitory, deciding to eat his meal and sleep. Whatever happens after dark, I'll deal with it in the morning, he told himself. As the group prepared to gather at 6:30 the next morning, Jiang found himself once again dreaming of a massive, ominous gate labeled Heaven Prison. He stared at it, frustrated. How many times have I dreamed of this place in the past month? He reached out and tried to push the gate open, but it didn't budge. Annoyed, he muttered, "You keep dragging me here in my dreams but won't let me in. What is this? Some old lady putting on a bedtime show?" Exasperated, Jiang lay down on the cold ground in the dream and decided to keep sleeping. In the dream and in real life. While he slept peacefully, blissfully unaware, a ghost girl with a horrifying appearance hovered over his bed, watching him with curiosity. The next morning, at exactly 6:30, Jiang joined the other students in the hall. It didn't take long before their complaints filled the air. "Something scratched the walls in our room all night," one said, visibly shaken. "I couldn't sleep at all," another added, There were whispers right outside my door. Zhang, still groggy, looked at them and shrugged. Really? I slept fine. He glanced around and raised an eyebrow. Wait, doesn't it seem like there are fewer people today? Before anyone could respond, a blonde girl called out to him from behind. She looked nervous, clutching her stomach as she approached. Zhang, she said hesitantly, could you lend me 50 sly coins? She couldn't meet his gaze, clearly embarrassed. Zhang blinked in confusion, and the girl added quickly, I didn't get many coins yesterday, just 5, and I spent them all on water. I'm starving. The girl, Li Xiao, grabbed his hand, her desperation written all over her face. Zhang turned red. Why don't you help me out? I'll do whatever you want, she stammered, her tone softening. Before Zhang could respond, the head nurse arrived. Her sharp gaze silenced the room instantly. Zhang took the opportunity to escape, whispering to Li Xiao, we'll talk later, the head nurse is here. As the nurse addressed the group, she scanned the room, her lips curling into a displeased smile. 5 fools didn't make it through the night, she announced coldly. Her glowing red eyes swept over the remaining students. Despite my warning not to open your eyes after dark, they dared to disobey. They paid the price, the room grew heavy with dread. She continued, as for the rest of you, get back to work. After the tense meeting, Zhang headed to room 403, his next task looming over him. He clutched the medicine tray nervously. Earlier, he had tried gathering information about the patient in 403 by asking the flying head ghost from room 401. Do you know the patient in room 403? He'd asked. The flying head ghost had shaken her head. Never met them, she replied casually. Then, almost as an afterthought, she added, but the nurses eaten alive are usually from rooms 403 and 404. We've snacked on a few of them ourselves, just a little. Zhang shuddered at the memory. He had also questioned the ghosts in room 402 about room 403. They didn't hesitate. Oh, we don't know her personally, one said, but last time, she ate a nurse's arm. Another ghost added gleefully, wonder if there's any meat left this time. Zhang had no choice but to brace himself as he walked into room 403. His system sent a warning just as he reached the door. System alert, the medicine tastes awful, so bad even a dog wouldn't drink it. But mix it with blood, coffee, and glass, and it becomes acceptable. Add jasmine for the best results. Following the system's advice, Jiang had blended the medicine with coffee, crushed glass, and jasmine. Taking a deep breath, he pushed open the door thinking, judging by the patients in 401 and 402, the ones in 403 and 404 aren't going to be any easier. Better be careful. Jiang cautiously opened the door to room 403. Inside, a red-haired ghost girl was seated, engrossed in a book. Steeling himself, he stepped inside with a forced calmness. I'm here with your order, he announced, setting down the tray in front of her. He couldn't help but grumble internally. This single packet of instant coffee cost me 50 coins. Why couldn't she just grab it herself? As the ghost girl reached for the cup, Jiang let out a breath of relief. At least I didn't have to use my own blood to make the medicine. Small wins. The ghost sniffed the coffee, her crimson eyes lighting up with delight. Ah, this smells heavenly. She took a sip, then gulped it all down with an audible awe of satisfaction. This is delicious, she exclaimed, her face now calm and serene. Reaching into her pocket, she pulled out a stack of coins and handed them to Zhang. I like this. Bring me a cup of coffee every day from now on. Zhang's eyes sparkled as he stared at the hefty pile of coins. Of course, miss. Anything you say? He replied with a wide smile, thanking her profusely before leaving the room. The rich lady's gift. Once Zhang was outside, he began counting the coins with a mix of excitement and disbelief. This is a fortune, thank you. Oh, generous and wealthy ghost lady. Overwhelmed with joy, he made a beeline for the vending machine, splurging on 2 packs of French fries, a box of biscuits, and a bottle of mineral water. But what truly caught his eye was the flashlight still priced at a staggering 500 coins. His expression turned serious. No matter what, he said aloud, I have to buy this first. The moment he purchased the flashlight, a system notification popped up. Congratulations. You've acquired the special item, flashlight, new challenge unlocked. Sorrowful. Cry of the bloody night? Zhang froze, confused. What the heck is a challenge mission? His questions were cut short when Li Xiao came sprinting toward him, terror plastered across her face. There's a monster chasing me, she screamed, her voice trembling. It's right behind me, please help me, I'll do anything if you save me. The deception unveiled, but instead of helping her, Zhang punched her square in the face. Li Xiao stumbled backward and fell to the ground, clutching her cheek in shock. Wah! Aren't we classmates? How could you hit me? She whimpered, looking up at Jiang with innocent, wide eyes. Jiang smirked, pointing a finger at her. Don't even try to act cute. You might fool someone else, but not me. With my intelligence, I can see through your lousy trick. He crossed his arms smugly. For your information, the real Li Xiao has a mole on her left breast. If you're going to copy someone, at least do it properly. The ghost, now exposed, hissed angrily and revealed her true form. Her once delicate face twisted into a horrifying grin as her body distorted. She let out a chilling laugh. So, you saw through me. Impressive. Her tone grew more menacing. But it doesn't matter. Tonight, you'll be my prey. Jiang rolled his eyes, unfazed. He flicked his bloody scissors open with a devil-may-care attitude. Perfect timing, he said, grinning. I've been itching for some practice. Let's have some fun. Before the ghost could make a move, Jiang lunged at her with the scissors. She yelped in surprise. Wait, give me a chance. Oh no, you don't. Jiang cut her off, his voice icy. He stabbed her again and again. Didn't anyone ever tell you villains die because they talk too much? And sneaking up on someone only works if you actually strike first. The ghost screamed in fury, calling him despicable and accusing him of cheating. Jiang ignored her protests and finished her off with one last well-aimed stab, praise, and end. At 6 o'clock, everyone gathered in the hall as usual. The air was thick with whispers and the lingering tension of the night's events. The head nurse stepped forward and handed Jiang 3 envelopes. Good work today, she said with rare praise, a faint smile curling on her lips. Jiang couldn't contain his delight as he accepted the envelopes. Others in the room exchanged jealous glances, muttering under their breaths. How is he getting extra coins when he hasn't even read the manual? One complained. Another muttered, he's so lucky. What's his secret? As the murmurs grew, a girl approached, Jiang with curiosity and a hint of mischief in her eyes. Hey, she asked, tilting her head. Want to team up with me for tomorrow's tasks? United we fall. The tense atmosphere in the hall was interrupted as class president Li Jiahao stepped forward. His commanding voice broke through the murmurs of fear and uncertainty. Classmates, please calm down, he said, his tone confident yet measured. Since it's still early, there's something I want to share with you. He paused, scanning the dwindling crowd. As you've all noticed, our numbers are already down to just a few of us on the second day. At this rate, none of us will survive unless we start working together. Some nodded hesitantly. Others exchanged skeptical glances. Money, fame, those are things for the future, Li Jiahao continued, his voice growing impassioned. But right now, if we want any chance of changing our lives, we have to seize this opportunity. To emphasize his point, he held up a gleaming sword. Look, he declared, I just got this sword. It's not a forbidden item, but it can damage mysterious creatures. And there's something special about the flashlight, too. However, we can only unlock its true potential if we manage to buy it. So here's my proposal. Let's figure out how to earn more sly coins and start pooling our resources. Jiang listened quietly from the back of the room, observing the class president's performance. So this is all about finding out why the head nurse praised me and probably a way for him to collect everyone's coins for free. Jiang smirked at the plan. It was clever, sure, but he had no intention of playing along. With a dismissive wave of his hand, Jiang turned to leave. If you're done, I'll be heading back. Li Jiahao stepped forward, trying to block him. Jiang, wait, think about it. What if you run into danger? If that happens, come to the 7th floor. I'll protect you with this sword. We can face whatever's out there together. I'll consider it. Jiang replied curtly before walking away, clearly uninterested. Back in his room, Jiang pulled out his newly acquired flashlight and inspected its details. The description read, this flashlight can illuminate darkness and dispel shadows. Essential for nighttime exploration. Usage limited to 3 hours. Below. That was his unlocked challenge mission. Challenge mission, sorrowful cry of the bloody night. Task, venture out at night and uncover hidden clues. Jiang leaned back, deep in thought. So the head nurse warned us not to open our eyes after dark, huh? But I've got this flashlight now, and forbidden items on my side. Staying put isn't exactly in my nature. The stakes were clear. Completing the main quest could secure him a place at college, even with poor entrance exam grades. But completing this challenge mission, that would put him in an entirely different league, with prestigious schools fighting to recruit him. He smirked, shaking his head at the notion of cooperation. This mysterious world isn't a place for teamwork. Everyone's looking out for themselves. And Li Jiahao, he's definitely not someone I'd trust. With his plan decided, Jiang stretched out on his bed, saying to himself, "I'll take a nap now and see what the night has in store." At 10 p.m., Jong woke with a start. Rubbing his eyes, he muttered, "I almost fell asleep completely." A faint noise from outside his room froze him in place. For a moment, he questioned everything. Wait, is this even an inpatient room anymore? As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he realized the entire room's design had changed. It was no longer the safe, if eerie, space he remembered. "What is this place?" he asked aloud, his heart pounding. "Is this how the hospital really looks?" Switching on the flashlight, the soft beam cut through the darkness, and the 3-hour countdown began to tick away ominously. Jung gripped the flashlight tightly, every nerve on edge.